What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Pigskin Politics, Week 6.
All right, we did better last week, honestly. There was still a lot of upsets, but we actually did a fairly good job picking them.
Yeah.
I mean, you went 10-5, I went 9-6, and that's literally just based on the Browns-Niners game. I'd say that's an upgrade over last week, especially considering there was a good amount of upsets this week, too.
Dude, there was a lot of upsets. Even, professional analysts were getting a lot of crap wrong. Whatever. But before we get into predictions, there's one thing I think we should discuss, and it's been a pressing issue for years now, and it's getting really, really bad this year specifically.
Referees, right?
Referees, man.
Oh, God.
This week was super bad for referee calls. One of the worst weeks I've ever seen. That Dak Prescott roughing the passer was worse.
Oh, God, that was weaker than Tom Brady's in the championship.
And then there was just so many other games. The refs, I feel like they were trying to just screw the Redskins over, although they were 0-4. I don't know why the Patriots need help, but they just
that first
gave
half,
them so many breaks.
There were a lot of breaks.
The Ravens-Steelers game, that was one of the worst. They screwed over both teams, I swear, dude. They tried screwing over the Ravens, and then they tried screwing over the Steelers at the end of the game.
Well, my favorite thing is after that Saints-Rams championship last year, they made it a rule where you can challenge PI. Even when you see you're making the wrong PI call and you challenge it, every single time it feels the refs are just like, yup, we're sticking with it. Screw you. You can't challenge. Now you just lost the timeout.
But we're not going to do anything about
it. Even though we know we made the wrong call, we got to stick with our guns.
Referees, they need to be held accountable.
They really should. Got to bring back the guillotine. I mean, maybe that's a bit much.
I'm saying, if you're going to fine NFL players for doing dumb crap, why not fine a referee or, suspend them without pay or bring out a guillotine? I don't know.
They did fire a referee last year during a meaningless Browns-Chargers game. They fired him for an offsides.
That was just to be like, yep, see, we did something about it. Nothing sense.
I mean, I guarantee you, I don't care if, the moment you see a guillotine being brought out on the field, I guarantee that those refs during the Rams-Saints game would have been like, no, I promise, it's a PI. And it's too late, dog. You had to start
executing referees.
I mean, maybe not that far, but it's about at that point. I don't advocate referee murder, but I'm not saying maybe they should be punished extensively and harshly.
Maybe not a murder, but I would say a fine or a suspension or just something.
I mean,
fire them. I don't know.
Fit it in a hashtag, and I think we got something good.
If you're caught making a bullcrap call and they show it on the replay, and then a team tries to challenge that, and you're just like, yeah, that was PI, but I'm not going to do shit about it just because screw this team. There's been so many calls this year where I've already seen
it's a continuation.
PI. Someone challenged. There's only been 1 or 2 overturned this year.
I haven't
even some yes, that will get overturned, doesn't get overturned. And that's just because refs, I don't know.
It's crazy. We try to hold them more accountable, and they're still just as bad. I get it. It's a hard job, and I do have a lot of respect for a referee.
That's what replay's for.
I have a lot of respect for a referee. I do. I have no respect for one that fixes the outcome of a game. As a Dolphins fan, I'm used to losing, okay?
Yeah.
But there's been our share of games where we lose, but we should have won. It's one thing to lose outright, and you can only blame yourself and your team. Mm-hmm. But if you play well enough to win and it gets stolen from you, that is just unacceptable. And that can affect your entire season based on one game.
Man. We don't want a referee pulling for a team or pulling for a different team. We just want
call it fair.
Unbiased,
just fair, please.
Just fair game. That's all I ask for.
Anyway,
we're gonna start it off, and the first game on the list is the New York Giants at New England, and this is not going to end well for Giants fans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we kind of rode the Giants hype. I mean, the Vikings looked like they were pitfalling, and the Giants looked like they were on the rise. That was the one upset that we chose where I was like, that was kind of dumb retroactively.
The Giants, it's just more I thought the Vikings suck.
Whatever. I thought it was dumb that we picked the Giants retroactively. Within the first quarter, I was like, oh, all right, we did that. And on that note, New England needed help to defeat an 0-4 team. There was a lot of bad calls. We already addressed that. But on that note, this game's in New England, and it's the Giants. There is no way in hell that the refs will allow the Patriots to lose. Granted, the Patriots have the talent to floor the Giants. All
Absolutely.
I'm saying, and I probably will be correct, there will be at least one stupidly bad call.
They're going to win
the Patriots
by 4
are going to win
touchdowns.
anyway in a blowout.
They're going to
Meaning
win.
you don't need the bad call to help them, but
Yeah.
it will happen. Anyway, if you need a lock, go with the refs. Patriots. Go with.
They're going to win like 38-14.
Yeah, they're my
And
lock.
Still, the referees are going to help them.
I wouldn't rip on them this hard if it weren't for that Redskins game. That was just atrocious. There was a lot of bad calls.
That PI where I think it was Edelman, where he ran a seam and he fell down and the defender just kept running for like another 40 yards, and then the announcer was like, oh, and now there's a late flag just because the Patriots referee just looked up at the ref and he's like, what the heck? And he's like, I got you, bro.
See, my favorite was when whoever their running back was for the Skins broke on another really big one, and 30 yards down the field, they throw a flag and they're like, yeah, dead play, false start. You didn't know that 30 yards ago, huh?
30 yards ago.
Whatever. But go with New England.
New England by 4 touchdowns. Washington at Miami, the Tank Bowl. This is what we're all looking forward to.
That's why I wore the hat, and it's a Miami W. I feel, even though it's in Miami, Washington is favored, and I get it. The media is really riding the Miami hate, but holy goddamn crap, guys. Are you serious? They just fired their coach. I'm pretty sure Haskins is going to start. Miami's coming out of a bye week. It's in Miami. There is nothing slotted in the Redskins' favor here. Why on God's green earth would they be favored? I think it's
the Dolphins.
Which is the media hate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad teams in the league.
Washington included.
Yeah. Here's the best way I'd look at who's the worst team in the league right now. It's not the Skins or the Dolphins. It's either the Bengals or the Jets. And here's how you can decipher it.
Jets.
Dolphins are 0-4, yes. But they've lost to 4 playoff teams from last year. Okay? The Skins, 0-5. But they've also lost to 4 playoff teams from last year. But they lost to the Giants too. So, I mean, Dolphins haven't done that.
Well, if you guys lose to the Redskins, then you could probably hang your head a little low. But if you beat them, you could say you're right.
I mean, I'll give like one solid woo, I mean, 1-4, yay.
I will say firing your head coach and then trying to go on the road after trying to play a team that's coming off a bye, I don't think you're going to win that game.
How the hell are the odds makers giving Washington the favorite by 3 here?
It's just because Miami's bad, but Washington is also like just as bad. But if it's on the road, they're coming out of a bye. I got Miami winning their first game.
Yay. That's all I need.
And Carolina at Tampa Bay.
Okay, revenge game for Carolina. Tampa Bay beat them in week 2, and I kind of feel, well, actually, the Panthers came 1 yard short. They were right there, and they should have won even with a very, very poor Cam Newton. And that team has responded well without Cam Newton. Kyle Allen has not put the team on his back. Christian McCaffrey, yes.
Absolutely.
But he's played well enough to win, and that's all you need with that team right now. Christian McCaffrey is MVP candidate as a running back by week 6. This is amazing how he's doing.
Not even close. Him and Mahomes.
Oh, God, yeah.
Actually, Russell Wilson, too, but...
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen when Cam Newton's back from his injury? Is he going to be benched still, or is he going to start? Because I think they're responding pretty well to Kyle Allen, and I think they should just keep rolling with him. And I think
they'll probably put on a weird outfit, and then he'll get benched again. I mean,
Tampa Bay normally plays their divisions pretty good.
Yes, this one's in London, though. So it's basically an away game, and Tampa doesn't play great on the road. That being said, they did beat the Rams.
They also don't have a good defense.
The Panthers do have a good defense.
And they have a great run game.
So I'd say
good defense, good run game.
And it's in London. Both teams will be tired, but
I hate playing in London.
Give the edge to the Panthers. I think it's a revenge thing.
Oh,
I think Panthers should have won week 2. They only didn't because Cam Newton played terribly.
He throws like a girl.
Yeah, dresses like one too.
Yep, I say pick Carolina.
You got it.
Anyway, Seahawks at Cleveland.
Ooh, so it was a little bit risque that we picked the Seahawks to win. They did. They pulled it out. They played well. I actually, felt it could have been better in their favor. I thought there were some bad referee calls in that one. An interception was blown dead during the return, and that could have led to a game-clinching field goal, whereas the Rams wouldn't have been in the position to get a game-winning field goal attempt and lost. You know what I mean? Seahawks played well against a quality opponent. Rams are overrated, sure, but they are good. The Browns, I'm pretty sure I'm batting 1-4 with the Browns right now. I don't know what the hell they're doing to me.
How do you feel about the Browns right now?
They're pissing me off. I believed in the Browns, like straight up. But what
schedule gets
frick
easier.
is going on with them? That's fine, but they're not even being competitive in the games they lose. I get it. Some games are hard.
The Niners were going to win, man. They went cross country and lost to a team that was coming out of a bye.
Yeah, but I thought you were just being salty. I thought Cleveland had all the momentum going into this game.
31-3 or 33.
I thought they had all the momentum going into this game, despite the fact the Niners were undefeated. I was wrong, obviously, and I'll give credit.
Maybe the Browns aren't as good as we initially thought. They might be still playoff worthy, but like wild card worthy. Just because they've only beaten the Jets and they've beaten the Ravens. And I don't think the Ravens are a playoff team, really.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
It does, but from what I saw the last 2 weeks, they don't look like a very good team right now. And that's who the Browns have beaten.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm picking Seahawks to win.
They travel well. I think Seattle will win.
Mm-hmm, they do.
Anyway.
Who's next?
What the hell does that say?
That says Houston and KC.
That looks like it says Ham. H-A-M. Houston and Kansas City.
So, KC got its first loss of the season. That was a little bit
abandoned ship on Kansas City, they said.
Oh, yeah, right. No, I mean, the Colts controlled the clock well and they ran it well. They were very aggressive, and normally that doesn't pay off. In this case, it did pay off, absolutely. But Houston put up a great performance against the worse than we thought Falcons. So I'm going to say KC still wins this. Houston will be competitive, but, dude, KC's the best. They really are. They're top 3 teams.
Absolutely.
A weird loss, they happen. They happen all the damn time.
They also lost to a decent indie team, man. They could definitely be in the playoffs. I think they're playing good. And I guess they just set a blueprint on how to beat Kansas City, and that's just blitz the crap out of them and have a good run game.
Well, and not only that, Mahomes is slightly nursing a
He got hurt, and then I think, was it 2 of his wide receivers were out?
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill was already out, and someone else got hurt during that game. It didn't help the cause.
But, like, in a couple weeks, his foot should be fine.
But I still feel like Kansas City is just an unstoppable powerhouse.
I think it was just fortunate timing, honestly.
Yeah. Houston's going to come to play, though, man. This is going to be such a good game.
Watson had a great performance, but he did it against the Falcons. And the Falcons, I don't get what they're thinking.
50 burger, dude. 53 points.
Yeah, there was a pick 6 in there, but yeah.
I mean, still, I'd be 46 or whatever.
Well, sure.
But that's besides the fact. I think Houston does have a pretty decent defense, and I still feel like Deshaun. Well, I guess their O-line's not that all that good, but with who they pick up, was it Tunzel? Yeah, Laramie Tunzel. They're doing a little bit better. I think they should still invest in their O-line next year after the draft with a high pick. Maybe not.
Well, I mean, in the second round at least.
Yeah. Pick Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City.
I don't think they'll drop off.
I think Houston's a fine team. I thought they'd be first to worst, but they're actually doing well. But go with KC.
Moving on. Philadelphia at Minnesota.
I don't care Minnesota beat the Giants.
I don't either, because I don't believe in Minnesota one bit.
No. I think they beat a bad team. I think they can only beat bad teams.
They're only beating bad teams.
Are the Eagles a bad team? No. The Eagles are a good team that has played... that has lost a few games that it shouldn't have lost. Eagles are still good.
Lost some road games to good teams.
Yeah.
But I think the Philadelphia Eagles are probably one of the better teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
They might be the second best, I'd say, behind the Saints. Who else in the NFC is better than that? Maybe we'll see how the Seahawks do this year.
Yeah.
But I'd say Philadelphia is probably the second or third best team. And I think they'll just rail freaking Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota has a prayer.
There's a fair bit of rivalry there where the Vikings always go against the Eagles. They could win, but just if they do, expect it to somehow spit in the Vikings' face at the end of the year as they still miss out on the playoffs.
Let's see if the Vikings freaking their quarterback throws for like 100 yards or something.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Just go with the Eagles there.
New Orleans at Jacksonville.
You know, it's kind of funny. Weird to say. Could be an upset game here. Could be.
I didn't think so.
The Jags have played really well under Gardner Minshew. And Leonard Fournette's been getting...
just lose on a last-second just Hail Mary to the Panthers.
Yeah. And, you know, Leonard Fournette's been getting his lion's share of carries, and that's what made them a good team the other year. I think they'll be fine. That being said, I'll still roll with New Orleans because credit where it's deserved. I thought this team was Kamara in the defense without Breeze, but Bridgewater and Hill both played. They played great. Thomas even made a great performance. They owned the game against the Bucs, and the Bucs are normally feisty in the division. It wasn't close. I mean, at best, it was tied for maybe a quarter, but then the Saints just pulled away, and they just kept chugging away, and it was never as close as the final score would indicate. So, that being said, I think it'll be a sneaky good game, this one, but I'll still pick the Saints.
Same. I'm picking the Saints just because I think it's amazing how well this team has been playing without their starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows how good their depth is on defense and on offense especially. And just them going into Seattle and beating them a few weeks ago was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. And
they're just keeping up with it. They're not slowing down.
They're
only going to get better when Drew Brees comes back.
I still feel they'd be undefeated right now if the refs knew what they were doing in week 2.
Yeah, they kind of got screwed over a little bit in week 2, but Jacksonville, I could see an upset happening.
They're a weird team.
New Orleans is just a very good, well-coached, and disciplined team.
Yeah.
It'd be tough for them to lose this game.
Sneaky good game. I could see it being like 30-27, though.
I don't even think it's going to be that high scoring, dude.
I mean,
it's going to be like 17-14.
Okay.
But I got New Orleans winning.
Cool.
Anyway, moving on. Cincinnati at Baltimore.
You got it.
Okay. I feel like Cincinnati is probably doing a fire sale. I see they're shopping A.J. Green, and I think they're calling it quits for the season just because they're trying to stockpile some draft picks for next year. Baltimore, I'm pretty sure I completely overestimated Baltimore by the beginning of the year.
I wonder why.
They played the Dolphins, they played the Cards, so I was like, okay, they're a good team, but then they started tailing off and started losing games. Even that Pittsburgh game, that was an ugly game. I did not like that game.
3 INTs by Jackson. It was terrible.
2 of them weren't even his fault. That was referee bullshit, but whatever.
Still closer than it needed to be on 1-14.
Cincinnati's going to come to play. This is going to be a close game.
Cincinnati always
comes to play. Never underestimate Cincinnati if you're the Ravens. Ever.
Yeah.
4th and 12. I remember, all right?
Yeah.
So, I still think Baltimore wins this because I feel like they're a better team and they're at home.
Yeah. I mean, I chose against Cincy based on their Monday night performance against the Steelers. Steelers and Bengals entered winless. Steelers left with their first W. Then they faced off against the still winless Cards at home. And guess who left with the W? The Cards. And it took Dalton Magic to bring it close in the end. And then that still wasn't enough. Like, it was 23-9. Dalton Magic scored 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes. They still gave it up. And Kyler Murray won his first game. And that was in Cincy. Cincy barely has enough in the tank to keep up with it.
They don't even have any fight left in with them.
No.
I think they got like the 31st ranked run defense or defense right now, and it ain't looking too good for these guys. Don't give up, though. Maybe next year for these guys.
Baltimore's going to win. I see no reason why Baltimore shouldn't win this one.
Go with Baltimore.
Yeah.
San Francisco at the Rams. I think the Niners are going to get their first L.
Same. But, on that note, I feel we got to give the Niners a good bit of respect. They're undefeated. We always bombast them. We bombast Garoppolo, and we say we don't think he's a good quarterback. Fine, whatever. I'm gonna cut you off, but we said they had a good run game and a good defense, and that is exactly how they have managed to be undefeated at this point. It's actually impressive how well they've done that attack.
You know what this Niner team reminds me a lot of? Is the 2017 Jaguars. A really good defense and a really good run game. And Jimmy Garoppolo is looking like the spitting image of Tom Brady right now, just throwing 3-yard passes and just letting all the receivers just do the yak.
So much yak.
I'm not buying into Garoppolo. He's 4-0, man.
We have a video all about that. Let's just
47 yards in the first half.
Let it go.
He's not good.
Let it go, man. I think the Rams win this one, but in this case, it's because the Rams just have that high-powered offense. They're a hard team to stop. The Rams scored less than 30 points this year.
No, but I also think this is going to be the toughest test for the Niners. Isn't this going to be the toughest game they've had so far?
I'd say Seattle was the toughest, and they almost won that one.
No, for San Fran.
Oh.
This is going to be their hardest game so far, because I think they've had a fairly forgiving
let's see, they
schedule.
played the Bucks, the Bengals, the Steelers, and now the Browns. Yeah, that's fairly
forgiving. So I think this is their hardest game. Granted, they could win. Division games are weird. It's just, if they want to win, same thing what you guys did to Cleveland is play good defense, have a good run game, get George Kittle involved a lot. He's freaking, oh my God, dude. He just throws 3-yard slants to that guy and he just get a first down no matter where he got the ball.
Yeah.
He get it on the freaking line of scrimmage and run for a first down. Ball goes to like 3 guys. That guy looks like is he taking steroids or something? Jesus Christ.
I mean, maybe. But the Rams' offense is hard to match with that defense. No, that offense is hard to match with the Niners' offense. Both have a great run game, but the Rams also have a great passing attack.
Yeah,
and although the Niners have the better defense, the Rams have that gimmicky defense. Like I said, they're not good. They don't stop points or yards, but they get takeaways and sacks when they need them. So I think that's enough to give them the win. I think that's enough to give the Rams the win, but I finally, it took 6 weeks, but I'm giving the Niners some credit. And if they win, frick, I'll pick them to win next week, I guess.
Atlanta at Arizona.
Okay, so I kind of feel like this one could be what is arguably an upset.
For Arizona or for Atlanta? Because I'm looking at this and I still think Atlanta's going to win.
Yeah,
just because I think they're more experienced team for coaching, and as far as because Matt Ryan's playing freaking lights out, man. He's playing so good. I'd be so disappointed if I were on his team. Him and Julio Jones are the team, and that's it. They don't have a defense. Arizona just maybe they built up their confidence by their first win, but it's still a very young team.
They are
and an experienced team, and I think Atlanta can still win it.
I would pick Atlanta, but I kind of feel like Atlanta's snake bit, you know? It's like some curse crap going on. They've got too much talent to be this bad, and I kind of feel like this is a game where you wouldn't expect Arizona to win, but that's been a lot of the games this year where you didn't expect Atlanta to lose, and then they did anyhow, and not even closely, but badly. And I think this is a game you'd expect Atlanta to win, but Arizona, I think, can do it. Dude, I can't put it much past a gut feeling, but it's there. And I like rolling with the gut.
Matt Ryan's going to have like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, like a 151 passer rating, and still lose.
Exactly. It wouldn't be the first time this year.
It's been every game. He's had an insanely good game, and then this defense just lets him down. Like, dude, looking at his stats, like, how do you have like 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and lose this game?
I don't know.
How do you have a pass rating like a 144 and lose this game?
How does home field advantage not matter in the slightest?
I still think they could beat the Cards though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think the Cards are. I think they're interesting this year.
Yeah.
I think next year they could be. They're kind of like the Raiders, how they were last year. They're rebuilding. They're getting some good draft picks, and I think they could be a good team next year. Yeah. They're just an offensive line away, basically.
We'll see.
Maybe a little pieces on defense.
I can't give them that much credit, but
I will. Good receiving core.
I will say, I just think Arizona wins this one, so I'll pick Arizona.
Okay, I'm going Atlanta.
Okay.
Tennessee at Denver.
All right, Denver won their first game.
Whoop-de-doo.
Do you buy it?
Hell no, not even close, because Tennessee's going to murder them.
Okay,
maybe not murder.
Tennessee was the right pick against the Bills, believe it or not. They lost 14-7. Cairo Santos missed 3 field goals, had a 4th one blocked. That's a 19-14, 16-14 differential. The Titans played and should have won. They fired their
good Bills defense.
Yeah, and it was the right pick to pick the Titans. Granted, Bills did win, so I guess it was wrong. But the logic was sound. But that Bills defense is something special, and the Titans held them to 14 points too. Whereas the Broncos got their yearly victory over a division opponent out of the way. I don't know how they did it. The Chargers built themselves a hole and just couldn't crawl.
What is up with the Chargers and the Broncos, man?
It happened last year too.
Every year,
the Broncos won
Chargers are way better.
The Broncos won in LA, you know. But it always happens there. And I think it was just that again. Sometimes it just is what it is. But I'm not buying it. Tennessee, I think they've got this. And actually, Tennessee is, undefeated on the road right now?
Maybe.
They beat the Browns on the road. They beat the Falcons on the road. And aren't they 2-3?
I think so.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Dude, the Chargers have been screwing me over a lot.
Holy crap. The Titans are undefeated on the road. They lost the Colts at home. Jags. Oh, wait, they lost the Jags in Jacksonville. Never mind. But whatever, Titans. The Broncos don't have much to...
The Broncos aren't even good. And I was hearing rumors about them possibly chopping Von Miller and some other pieces for this year and tanking. Yeah.
Them too.
I mean, they did start out like...
Okay, that might be our stiffest competition out there. I mean, if they're tanking, whew, boy.
But they have one win.
Oh,
you guys
right.
have 0 wins.
That's true.
I thought Denver could have been somewhat of a dark horse team going into the year, and now it's just top 5 draft pick is what they're looking like to me. Tennessee wins this one. I think they're hungry for a win after that loss. I feel like they're pretty dissatisfied because they should have beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
They just didn't have a kicker.
Yep. They should have beat the Titans, the Colts, but they missed a field goal in that one too.
All right. This next game, you could probably use as a survivor because it's Dallas at the Jets.
Now, Dallas only beats bad teams, so thank God for Dallas because they were spiraling.
Terrible.
Oh, God, Dallas was spiraling. So they need this.
There's only 2 wins or 2 losses in a row.
Only 2 good teams in a row.
They were good teams, though.
But they played bad teams, and they were riding high. It's easy to beat bad teams.
Dude, the referee been pulling from
I know.
against Green Bay.
And you still lost by 10. It's sad. Whatever. But this is a bounce-back game for Cowboys, and they get it. But guess what? We've ripped on that Jets offense nonstop. How good did they do? They scored 6 points, set up by a muffed punt.
Yeah,
It was technically offense. So Adam Gase, god dang, you're pulling. That's averaging 2 field goals a game now.
Even if I did the math the other day, if you give the Jets even all their defensive points are averaging like 9.7 points a game, and the worst, I looked it up. And we went for relevant history. The worst offense in history,
16-game season,
was the 1992 Seahawks, who were averaging like 8.8 points a game. So they're just barely over the worst relevant offense in history.
But that's what defensive scores. You take
out that out, they're like 6 points a game, dude.
Oh God, I'm gonna.
Because their defense is scoring for them.
Yeah, let's see. They have 17 points in 4 games.
Ouch.
That's they're averaging 2 safeties a game, which is fitting because their offense can't score.
Adam Gase will probably play in Miami somehow.
And anyone will tell you, like, oh, you can't rip on them for their quarterback situation. No, Adam Gase has so much in hot water, even if Darnold has mono. I don't give a damn.
It's funny how he is ripping on the Dolphins, like, oh, they had a real quarterback. And like, all right, dude, you get your wish, here you go.
Yeah, and
he got what he wanted. And I think Dallas is way better than the Jets in every capacity, especially defense-wise. They'll probably shut them out at home.
Yeah, I mean, wow, we just really ripped on the Jets. So that's your answer. Pick the Cowboys.
Absolutely. Yeah. Chargers at Pittsburgh.
I hate the Chargers right now. I really do.
Same, because they've screwed me so much already throughout this entire year. Like, I feel like they should be damn near undefeated at this point because I thought they were that good.
I picked them to win their division. I look like a dumbass now. They could. No, they won't. But
they won't.
Do I think they're bad enough to lose to the Steelers? No. I've ripped on the Steelers a lot, too.
Dude, I think the Steelers are actually all right.
I will say this. I'm batting 100%. The Steelers are saving my picks. I have not been wrong with the Steelers. Maybe I continue that spree. But the Chargers, though they've put some weird games forth, can you still say they're bad? I don't think so. I
don't think Pittsburgh's as bad as their record indicates, though. Because they're playing...
I don't think the Chargers are as bad as the record indicates.
No, but I think the Steelers, they are playing all right for having backup quarterbacks in.
Here's the thing with the Steelers that bugs me. All right, so they gave up... The Niners spotted them 5 turnovers, and they still lost that game. The Ravens spotted them 3 turnovers, and they still lost that game.
8 turnovers in 2 games, and they lost both.
you shouldn't be able to win in a multi-turn. 2 should be your limit if you still expect to win. And just I don't know what to say to that. You're losing when you're being spotted 3 turnovers. Granted, it went to overtime, but would it have if you weren't given those turnovers? You lost to the undefeated Niners by 4, but would you have if you weren't spotted those turnovers? No.
Dude, one of those Lamar Jackson interceptions hit the freaking ground. You saw it. The other one was PI, and they still gave it to him anyway. And they still went to overtime, so I don't know. Because the one that was PI, they gave him the ball on like the 10-yard line.
Yeah. But I won't pick against the Chargers here, but I don't see the Steelers winning. I think the Steelers go 1-5. I predicted them to be terrible. I'm sticking with that. I predicted the Chargers to be good. I'm sticking with that.
I think Pittsburgh could win, but not with the third string because I don't think Mason Rudolph's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I wouldn't if I were him. If he got knocked out cold like that, dude, just let your concussion heal for a few weeks because you don't want to make that worse.
Right.
They got a third string quarterback rolling in. Maybe Mason Rudolph plays. I don't know, but shit, I hope not because I don't want him to get brain damage.
Are you picking Pittsburgh?
No, I'm going to go with the Chargers. I don't think there's a reason the Chargers should lose with a rookie quarterback.
No.
I mean, especially if you got, what is it, Joey Bosa freaking rushing for them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good pass rush. Even though they have a good O-line. Pittsburgh does, but whatever. Moving on, the last game, Detroit at Green Bay.
Isn't this the most interesting one of the week?
This one is going to be freaking amazing.
What are the Lions? Okay, we have given them almost no credit until laughably we've had to begrudgingly give them credit, and we're like,
next week we gave them credit.
Next week we'll give them credit. They're playing the Chiefs. Well, we'll give them credit next week. They're playing the Packers now.
I really feel like they should have beat the Chiefs. Had a game-winning interception drop. They had a 4th and 8, and Mahomes just scrambled off of a broken play and got a first down.
Yeah, man.
Green Bay always wins in Green Bay, but I want to give this one to the Lions.
You know what's funny is the Lions are like riding a 4-game win streak over the Packers right now.
Yes, and they're coming out of a bye. I think they could beat Green Bay, despite it being in Green Bay. They've been playing pretty good so far. For what I've seen, they've been doing all right. And if they win this game, chalk them up as contenders.
I mean, I feel like the Lions are already contenders. They really, truly are. And I don't think losing to the Packers would be anything to take away from them.
No.
And I just think
not at all.
The Packers are great right now. I predicted them to be the division winner, and they look great.
They look like division winners.
Yeah. But come on, Lions, if they are staying close in this one, I feel that's enough for everyone to be like, yes, the Lions are actually good. Okay.
Are you picking Green Bay?
I am, but I'm excited for this one. I really am.
I'm picking Detroit.
What?
Yes, I want to pick I don't feel good about it, and I'm probably wrong, but I want to pick the upset.
You're picking an upset.
I'm picking the upset.
All right.
Here
I'm
comes
okay
Detroit.
with
They're
that.
winning with us.
All right. But I'll roll with Green Bay. Green Bay's been helpful to me this year. But the Lions have screwed me over on a lot of picks thus far, so who knows?
Well, because I thought the Lions would be trash this year. And it turns out they're not, because I didn't know anything they did over the offseason, aren't they? They're like, they weren't very good last year, and I don't think they really, drafted, I think, was it TJ Hawkinson, or?
Dude, I don't know.
I think they drafted a tight end with their first pick. But, anyway, go Lions.
Yeah.
And screw the refs.
Yes.
Kill them.
On that note, we're still doing all right. 10-5, 9-6. Your locks are refs over the Giants, Dallas over the Jets. If you can use Baltimore over Cincy, do that. And yeah, that should be enough. Hopefully we're not apologizing next week. And yeah, hopefully we write
Go
this.
like 0 for 10.
Oh God, again. Yeah.
See you guys next week.
Take it. Bye.